You are now tuned into Blueprint Radio.
In another weird story, speaking of information and being informed, we were informed that Michael Jackson and Tupac had a fist fight.
This was crazy. This was floating around online. Just the visual of it.
This has been floating around online for years, but
it resurfaced recently.
Yeah.
And it seems like, I guess, in a nutshell, Tupac was dating at the time Quincy Jones's daughter, and who happened to be Michael Jackson's niece. And I guess they were in an argument outside a club. And as Mike was walking out,
for the way he was treating,
So as Mike was walking out, he heard the tone and the argument back and forth. And I guess Tupac, the story goes, is kind of confronted Mike and saying it's not his business, and then Mike was ultimately saying, "This is my niece; it is my business,"
which is crazy because we all grew up on Mike. Would you approach Mike on that? Like,
well, just the respect,
me and my
level.
and my girl could be in a fight, but if Mike says something, I'd be like, "All right, we'll handle this later."
We'll do this later, right?
It's not that I'm scared of Mike, but he's just so legendary. So Tupac really just didn't give a rat's ass.
Yeah, who knows what pocket Pac was in, but long and short of it, they got into a scuffle, and as the story goes, it looks like Jack got the best of it. So
we got to remember that Mike Jackson is 6'1", 6'2", has about 5 brothers,
super athletic. If you want to say it, like, he's a dancer, right?
Like, used to get it in,
the
like
high kicks, doggy. Like, I don't know. I want to see how that fight went. Was it like, was it tiger knees? Like, what were we seeing?
Listen, as I get older, the more stories come out about Mike, and supposedly Mike was crippin'.
Hitting him like, hee.
I'm not saying this is real, but they said Mike had a deep voice. All that soft voice was an act, and there's certain clips on the internet where you can see him not being character and forget he had to put that high voice on.
Well, people have caught him off guard and say that, like, Mike just threw them off. I want to say,
but they said Mike was a real one. Like, he's from Gary, Indiana, right 10 minutes outside Chicago. Like,
that was the murder capital
he's
of
banging
the US for years.
Yeah,
bro.
they're like,
we're talking about having 4 brothers, and Joy's your dad. Like, you can't be a chump.
Whooping you.
You can't be a chump.
So he's been through it. I know one thing. Kids that been through it like that, your body develops extra muscle.
Yeah.
Because you're used to fighting, and your body's always reject. So Mike had that. I don't know if that's true. Shout out to Mike Jackson. No. Shout out to Alexi and Tupac too.
You've heard stories about Mike. You've heard stories about Prince. Like, again, these guys that like come off with soft demeanors, but
Prince is a hooper. I heard Prince is
that KG story is crazy, right?
KG, let's talk about Chappelle.
Oh yeah, Chappelle was the legendary one.
Let's talk about that's
Chappelle. That's a legendary one.
Let's talk about the Chappelle. But yeah, man, shout out to Mike. We wanted to have fun with it.
100%.
You know I mean?
That's a crazy story. Again, if there's video out there, I want to see it somehow, some way. It's from a different time.
Even AI that, please. Just show me an AI. Do a cartoon of it. I would love to see that.
The internet wins. I would love for someone to mock that up.
Oh, that would be incredible.
You are now tuned into Blueprint Radio.